We started our Japan program towards the end of the 1980s, which we subsequently expanded significantly in the 1990s. During this period, we completely revamped our distribution strategy. We essentially only active in the specialist trade and essentially served the workshops that were previously our main customers through the specialist trade. Through the Japan program, now referred to as Jacoparts, which was called Nipparts back then, we then very intensively engaged in the spare parts program. And within a very short time, we developed into the market leader for Japanese vehicle replacement parts here in Germany.
When I started back then, we were dealing with two brands. One was Auto Electrical Parts and the other was Nipparts. In the 1980s, we launched Nipparts under Ralph Drewing guidance because we recognized the market gap for Asian spare parts at that time. This continued until 2006, together with a partner. And in 2006, we became Jacoparts, simultaneously with L-Parts, and the third brand we introduced at that time, Heavy Parts. We have Heavy Parts ultimately integrated into L-Parts, and then we have continued on with these two core brands.
Yes, the workshops highly praise our repair solutions, which are repair solutions for the workshop, because normally workshop customers say, oh, you just take one out and put another one in. But with our repair solutions, the workshop can also perform repairs. And this is a clear image gain for every independent workshop. We have continuously progressed on this path. We have also created a nice medium with our workshop field service to support the workshops with training in the already intricate techniques of shrinking and unlocking contacts. Since 1996, we began an industrial collaboration with Costal Kontaktsystem. We subsequently presented these skills and opportunities to the workshops. Consequently, we also focused on diagnostic solutions. And then towards the end of the 19th year, we collaborated with a Dutch partner, and together we introduced online diagnostics here to the German market for the first time. During the 2000s and 2010s, we made substantial strides in internationalizing the company. We launched our operations with our own offices in different countries. Currently, our export share stands at approximately 48%.
When we talk about internationalization today, we are actually referring to the years 2006 and 2007. This marks the time when Herth+Buss started its major internationalization efforts. This was the end of our collaboration with Nipparts Holland. In the past, Herth+Buss Germany was responsible for representing and selling the Nipparts range in Germany, Austria and Switzerland, while Nipparts Holland handled sales for the other countries. This division of labor was maintained for efficiency and coordination purposes. In 2006 and 2007, the corresponding cooperation with Nipparts came to an end, and we began with Herth+Buss Jacoparts. Jacoparts focuses on Japanese and Korean parts, specializing in wear parts for Asian customers. At this point in 2006 and 2007, it was the time when we began selling this brand not only in the DACH region but also in almost all European countries. Currently, we are selling in more than about 65 to 70 countries, and we have our branches set up. Following the end of our partnership in 2006-2007 saw the establishment of our branches in Belgium and France. Subsequently, we opened our branch in England and lastly our branch in Spain. Moreover, we have set up sales offices in the past few years. This means we have a sales office in Italy, another in Poland, one in Turkey and one in Armenia. The reason for both the branches and the sales offices is simply to be closer to the market, to better support our customers, speak the local language and develop business relationships with customers over time, to cultivate sales and business relationships throughout the years. International markets are, of course, particularly important for Herth+Buss in terms of assortment and product development. We receive a lot of input from international markets. Which products do we need? What assortments are necessary? It can be clearly stated that the driving forces behind assortment and product development, our international markets and partners, are represented by Herth+Buss.
As specialists, we clearly observe the rise of sensors in cars and have focused on our product selection and expanded our product line and further developed it. At the same time, we laid down the initial groundwork with our diagnostic inspector, marking the beginning of our efforts in establishing the first foundation. We were the first market provider in Germany to introduce the DoD service. That was in 2019. It's about the fact that we can conduct online diagnostics for vehicles and aren't required to be at the garage. This is a service that has worked exceptionally well and has developed wonderfully. Through this service, we have also engaged in discussions with Autel and have now been partnered with Autel for 4 years now. In the German-speaking area, this allows us to provide a comprehensive service, including a complete diagnostic and ARAS selection for garages. The Workshop Competence Centre is extremely important for us to showcase the Autel range and our overall workshop equipment range, to be able to show, to be able to demonstrate. We conduct customer training there, customer events, training for our own employees. It's also a great spot for team building or simply team events. In 2024, we took over the company Bushing GmbH. The Bushing product line is a wonderful enhancement to our workshop equipment offerings and is alongside Autel. It perfectly complements our existing product lineup.
Trade fairs have always been a very, very important aspect for us in sales and public representation. In the past, when you think about it, the world wasn't as connected as it is today. Consequently, the topic of trade fairs, having contact with other people, meeting customers and business partners, was extremely important. The interesting part was that sales representatives handled everything themselves. So, there wasn't a super professional booth concept like there is today, but the sales staff transported all the exhibits themselves and had to set everything up from A to Z. These were also very heavy cabinets and exhibits where we can showcase our components, and of course, this involved a significant effort. So one really had to plan the entire weekend to set everything up. The colleagues were at the trade fair booth all day, and everything was also taken down independently afterwards. That's how it used to be as well. In the 90s, we first saw a change in our branding as we added the Nipparts brand alongside the classic Herth+Buss Auto Electronics, the first brand for Asian vehicles, to our portfolio. Next, we displayed all of the items at 2 different stands to strengthen customer understanding and emphasize the brand message associated with them. Thus, 2 different sales teams had to build everything separately, and everything was entirely distinct from one another. In comparison to today, things have changed a lot. We have made several adjustments to our brand strategy over the years. Today, everything takes place at a central Herth+Buss booth, and our brands L-Parts, Jaco-Parts, and now Autel and Bushing have all come together at this booth. It's significantly simpler for our sales staff because we collaborate with the trade fair builder, allowing them to simply show up at the exhibition. The setup is quite professional, and I really just have to tweak a few details regarding the exhibits. Everything else is already prepared. It's much more professional now than it used to be. The individual tasks, whether in marketing, conducting surveys at trade fairs, or working with the fair builder, are now much more fragmented than before. Another very important element for us in sales is the field service. We always say it is the spearhead of the company because the field service is always the one who connects with our customers first and most often. It acts as the connection between the company and the customers. In today's world, and for us as a service-oriented company, it is immensely important to know and understand how our customer thinks. And this data, the field service needs to convey this information to the company, allowing us to make informed decisions for sustainable customer service, to be able to pick up Our field service is structured into various divisions, including a dedicated team for retail customers. Each area has its own specialized team to ensure our customers receive the best care possible. We have a similar structure abroad. Of course, the approach is a bit different because the colleagues abroad do not have the entire service apparatus that we have domestically. Additionally, we have the workshop field service that caters to the workshop clientele, along with the Autel field service, which specifically targets workshop equipment products. The retail field service, as stated, traditionally travels across Germany to meet customers, also conducts negotiations on site, visits the branches, gathers all the needs of retail, and brings them back to the company. In order to ensure the sustainability of our services and products, it is crucial for us to receive feedback from workshop field service, as they are the direct users of our products. This information allows us to continue providing quality and reliable services to our workshop customers. And all this for Autel, let's say, a bit more extensive. Consultations are simply carried out to determine which product is suitable for the customer in the area of workshop equipment. We drive to the customers together with the dealers, carry out the appointments together, but also have an after-sales review of the whole process so that if repairs need to be carried out, our colleagues can do so. This means we provide comprehensive support from before the sale to after the sale, from start to finish.